Something going on with that, man.
Everybody and their uncle, man. I swear.
So how was it though? Like, what y'all do?
Honestly, so I mean, we just went around a couple shops.
Okay.
Tried to resist as much temptation as possible.
Buying everything up. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to. I had Mexican twice that day, but
wow.
I tried to keep it low calorie.
Yeah. Which is hard with Mexican.
Which is very hard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to speak Spanish for them because they're like, they're white. They don't know how to speak Spanish. It's like, so I had to speak Spanish for them. They're like, oh, what? They didn't know what the hell I was saying. So yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had fun, man.
Yeah, man, it was great. Yeah, it was fun.
I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have bought everything, all the food.
Yeah,
all the food. So is it like the fair or something?
BJ Armstead gives into temptation?
At times. BJ Armstead human. He like Mexican food. So at that point, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Man, you must be happy being all warm in here, man.
It is warm, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on outside right now,
It's cold outside, man. It's like 47 right now, so
We were out there this past week, man, and talking to the soldiers and everything, and I'm out there trying to talk to them, my hands in my pocket, and they're at the gun range and everything, so they like shooting, and the way they do it in the military is, it's like, we call it like walking the beach.
Yeah.
Because it's like you go in, and when you go in, you are like in the middle of the range.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the like, of course they got a part where they, like the open field where the targets are, and then they have, like the part where they have the stands, and it's like, just like this.
Yeah.
So you drive up, and you're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And on both sides, it's probably like maybe 100 yards this way.
Yeah.
And then 100 yards that way.
Yeah.
So it's 100 yards on both sides. And so I'm trying to like walk the beach essentially, hands in pocket,
yeah, good luck,
hat on head.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like trying to think about every ounce of heat I can think about.
Right.
Because it is freezing out there.
It's crazy.
And it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Are they all geared up and everything?
They got gear on. They got gear on. They got the uniform on, and then they got the like the gun clips, the magazines, and the little pockets and stuff. They got gloves on. They got goggles on.
Oh yeah.
All that, helmets on.
So they're all warm.
They warm, man.
Yeah, they're fine.
They good, man. They good. They just got their they got winter PT, so they go to physical training in the morning.
Yeah.
And they got like different uniforms. Usually they have on the army t-shirts and the shorts.
Right.
But now they able to wear
change
like
the weather. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the hoodie on and the sweatshirts and the jackets and then the pants and the gloves and the knit cap and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
so
totally changing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it's also a time people get sick too. So.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you get sick, let me know. I got a little wellness thing that I do.
Oh really?
Whatever you have, it'll cure it. I had COVID in 2022.
Yeah.
And 2021.
Yeah, I had COVID once as well.
Yeah, and I had it for like 2 days.
Really?
And that was it.
Wow.
Literally.
I had it for like a full week.
For a full week?
Yeah.
How was that? How was yours?
It honestly wasn't that bad. It was just like, I was pretty much asymptomatic. It's just I had to I had some cough. I had a little bit of cough and I didn't throw up at all, nothing. I was just,
It wasn't that bad for you.
It wasn't that severe.
It wasn't that bad.
And it was like, I didn't have it when it was prominent.
Okay.
And when it was really bad, but yet I get it at the very last, after wave of it. It's like, okay.
What happened?
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's like, why?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I had all my symptoms, but not all my symptoms. I had all my sensors, whatever they call it. You're supposed to lose the sight, not the sight, the smell and the taste and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had all that. I just get terrible migraines.
Oh,
that was my
those
thing.
suck.
It was a migraine.
Yeah, I get those sometimes when I'm they suck, man.
It was terrible. It was terrible, man.
Yeah.
I did watch the YouTube video, man.
There you go.
The Tiger and the Rocco immediate, man. Hey, amazing.
It's a great video.
Man, bro, you talking about mentality?
I told you, yeah.
That was a perfect the perfect climax or definition of Tiger's mentality.
I love watching it, man.
And for him to be down like that too, it's not like he was going in there. He was just hurt. He was hurt and down.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. Man.
Yeah, man.
He was really headed into his downslide. Even though it might have seemed like he was at his peak, he was headed into a down spiral.
Yeah, he was.
And he came back.
So I was like, that's typical Tiger. And then going into I think it was Monday when they finished up for that one hole.
Yep.
So
It was two, I think. It was like,
Was it really?
oh yeah, they were
Yeah.
battling. They were
Yeah.
going back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Sunday they had to go do their thing. I think it was no, it was 9. I think they played 9 on Tuesday or 9 on Monday or something like that. Yeah.
Did you see the last round on Sunday
Mhm.
when they
We tied it up.
yeah when Rocco was talking about Tiger and the
Mhm.
putt and they put it in slow motion.
Yeah.
And he put it in that fist bump. That
Mhm.
made me feel like, wow,
Yeah.
damn. Like
Yeah.
that was the best part of it all, honestly, when he
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, and it's almost like Rocco expected him to do that too. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
of course he's Tiger Woods, of course. So,
You know? Yeah.
for sure, man, for sure.
He knew he was gonna make that putt.
Of course, man, Tiger, man, Tiger. All right.
Yeah.
Last time we talked, we talked a lot about this type of stuff on the left side, right? The
Mhm.
spotlight and everything, that ego, and kind of that ego giving into the spotlight.
Yeah.
These people are watching me now.
Mhm.
And you got sometimes where the ego gives into the spotlight, but the ego is also what feeds us. The ego is what makes us come alive. We want to be fed through that ego, right?
Mhm.
But then we realize that the spotlight doesn't exist though.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's totally made up, one, by two things, right? One is made up by people that surround you,
Mhm.
right? People that surround you. They're expecting you to do certain things. Pressures and stuff like that. Performances. All eyes are on me. It's
Right.
strictly made up by human.
Mhm.
It's not real. It doesn't exist. Because in golf is a specific game with specific rules. All you gotta do is follow those rules and win that match. Right? Everything else is outside of golf when it comes to the spotlight.
Mhm.
Now, the second thing is made up in our mind.
Yeah.
Right? The spotlight is made up in our mind. I've heard a lot of professional athletes talk about pressure.
Mhm.
And Charles Barkley, they asked Charles Barkley about pressure. That man said, pressure, only thing pressure is the air you put in your tires in the winter. That's what he said, right? So pressure is made up in our mind.
Yeah.
Right? It's only a figment of our imagination. I heard Kobe say that the other day too. I was doing some studying on Kobe. I heard Kobe say that as well. Right? So when we think about the spotlight, that's the reason why it's not real. Both of those places. All right. Now, when you think about nerves, right? Essentially what the spotlight gives into, right? The food of the spotlight is our nerves.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's what the spotlight feeds off of. The nerves, right? What happened the last hole? Thinking about it, the last part, we're no longer there.
Yeah.
All right. I teach a lot about, and you'll like this, I teach a lot about, this is how my brain works. I'm always going off of connectivity.
Yeah.
Right? Or intersectionality, right? Where one thing over here connects to this over here. What you realize is that a lot of this stuff is coming from the Bible. So when we look at Bible stories, we think about Lot's wife and how the destruction was behind, and God was like, don't look back at it. And when she looked back, she turned to a pillar of salt.
Mhm.
What I think, honestly, is that that's a representation of what happens to us when we think back about our past performances. Because we get stuck back there.
Yeah.
Like a pillar of salt.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
So when we think about what happened in the last hole, we don't get stuck back there. Now we also got fear of the outcome, which is fear of the future, right? More so anxiety. Okay? So we want to make sure that we're not giving into either one of those and we're staying present right here on this present moment. Okay? Now, we talked about the box, all right? The specific box that we want to stay in, all right, mentally.
Yeah.
When we're doing a specific action out there on the golf course, right? Whether we're putting, whether we're driving, we're chipping, whatever the case may be, even if we're in school, even if we're somewhere, like you were last week with your girl in Helen in Oktoberfest. Yeah. We want to just be here now. Imagine if you with your girl and you think about golf. She's going to yell at you, all right? She's going to yell at you.
I do.
She's going to beat you up.
Yeah.
All right? You deserve it. All right?
No.
Yeah. But, right, you want to be here now in that moment. All right, when you're on the golf course, you're not thinking about your girl. When you're with your girl, you're not thinking about golf. When you're in the classroom, you're not thinking about either one.
And for me, it's hard to do because I have ADHD, and my mind loves to just swirl off and think about different things throughout the day. Like especially with school. With school, I'm not really thinking about school. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
With school, I'm thinking about golf.
Is that because it's easy?
With school, I'd say so. I mean, it's getting harder though. Like I said, with junior year, it's getting a lot harder. But in sophomore and freshman year, I was like, I just want to go to the golf course, man. I don't want to do this crap. It was because it was easy.
Yeah.
I'd say personally, It's still pretty easy.
Yeah.
But it's because I put in all the hard work in middle school to learn the majority of the things that they taught freshman year in high school, I already learned. Because I worked so hard at getting good grades in middle school, because they pushed me. They don't really push me in high school. The only time they've actually really pushed me is this year. Other than that, they would push me. You know? And I brought a little special book today.
What's that?
That's Winning.
Ah, okay.
I bought that today.
I've seen that before.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
And I looked at a particular section. One of the first pages in here, actually. I read it to my other guy, Dr. Trammell, the other day, and we had a very in-depth conversation about it the other day. He's never read this book before.
What was his thoughts on it?
It's this page right here. So, all right. I asked you for your definition of winning, page 20. Now I'm giving you mine. There are 13. If you read Relentless, never read it.
That's my favorite book of all time.
Really?
Changed my life.
You may recall that I like to use the number 13 because I don't believe in luck. Neither does winning. Winning believes in winning. You may also recall that everything on my list is ranked number 1.
Yep.
I found that interesting because when you start ranking things 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., people think number 1 is most important, number 2 is less important, and everything else is just there to fill out the list. So we can go with number 1 for everything, and you can read them in any order. Winning makes you different, and different scares people. Ain't that the truth? Winning wages war on the battlefield in your mind. Winning is the ultimate gamble on yourself. Winning isn't heartless, but you'll use your heart less. Winning belongs to them, and it's your job to take it. Winning wants all of you. There's no balance. Which one's next?
Tell me. I know the titles by heart. But
Winning is selfish.
Yep. So use yourself.
Winning takes you through hell, and if you quit, that's where you'll stay. Winning is a test with no correct answers. Winning knows all your secrets. Winning never lies. Winning is not a marathon, it's a sprint with no finish line. Winning is everything. I stopped right there. I kept reading after that. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna head back to that. This is what I know. Winning will cost you everything and reward you with more. If you're willing to do the work, don't bother to roll up your sleeves. Just rip the fucking things off. And do what others won't or can't. They don't matter anyway. You are in this
alone. They don't matter anyway. It's crazy.
I know, right?
Very true.
Stop being afraid of what you'll become. You should be afraid of not becoming that. If you can't buy into this, if you believe you're not ready or not deserving, if you're not willing to commit to your own success, you've never won. And you probably won't. Just bashing people more. I swear, man. Because winners all understand one thing. There's a price to pay, you must pay it. So, winning is everything. Dr. Trammell came back to that. And he said he disagreed with that winning is everything. Personally, I disagree with that too. While winning is very important, it's not everything. And I say this because the preparation in which you put out and the practice in which you put out, that is everything. Winning comes later. I'd say winning comes later. If you practice and you play like you're going to win, then I believe you will win.
But winning is not an end result. It's not a destination. It is the process.
But it's not everything, though.
You being well in your process is everything, though. You striving to be the best you can be during your process is everything, though.
So
The
you
end result
saying,
is not everything.
but you're saying. So I had a talk with Tramo the other day, and he was talking about this marathon runner on Tour de France, and he did dope for he won the Tour de France 7 times, and he did dope. And he said, so do you believe winning is everything? And the fact that he did dope to win 7 times on the Tour de France. I pulled out the example of Barry Bonds. So you can relate more to this. You know, Barry Bonds, skinny rookie. Really skinny, not that muscular. He was good. You know,
he was Hall of Fame.
You know, he could hit line drives.
Yeah, he was Hall of Fame in Pittsburgh.
But all of a sudden he got muscular.
Yeah.
Did steroids.
Yeah.
They finally found out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could take the example of Sammy Sosa and
McGuire, Fernando Tatis.
there you go.
Pete Rose.
Yeah, corked his back just so people could get back to liking baseball again, a home run derby.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they did that because they thought winning was everything.
Well, here's the thing. Winning in the sense that you and Dr. Tremolo are thinking about it, that's not the way that Grover is describing it. He's not describing it as an end result. He's describing winning as along your process. What is the quality of your process? Are you giving everything during your process? That's winning. Are you showing up every day with the best version of yourself? Are you being disciplined? Are you not getting distracted? Are you giving everything you have along your process every single day you wake up? That's winning. Now, that's everything. That is 1,000% everything, not the end result. Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, the guy that did dope, that's not winning. That's not winning. You got your end result, but you cheated the process.
Exactly.
That's not winning. Winning is I work my ass off, Barry Bonds. I know you jealous of Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa. You out here hitting 40 a year, and you ain't happy with your Ken Griffey pattern that you and Ken Griffey doing 40 a year and stuff. Mark McGuire hit 71.
Around there.
Sammy Sosa hit 69, and now you 01, you're hitting 73. Right? That's not winning. That's cheating. Right? My man that did dope, that's not winning. That's stupidity. Winning is every single day I wake up. I'll take myself as an example. Every day I wake up, I ensure that I wake up at 4. Pray. Send text out 4 to 4:30. 4:30, close on. 4:40, out the door. 4:50, at the gym. 4:50 to 6:30, lift. 6:30, back to 7, shower, eat, change. 7:15, out the door. 8 o'clock, on bed. That to me, that's winning. Not whether or not I can win employee of the month and I gotta sleep with somebody to do it. Like, that's not winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not an end result. It's process driven. That book is process driven. Now, the result of the process is Mike Jordan 6 rings. That guy. That's the result of the process. Kobe 5 rings, Dwayne Wade 3, Tom Brady 7.
Yeah.
That's the result of the process. But they're not. If you ask Kobe about winning, he's not going to tell you I'm a winner because I won five championships. He's not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you I'm a winner because I did perfectly on executing my process every single day.
He'd probably say his career was cut short.
Can be, right?
You know? 5 and 7.
Winning is everything. In that sense. It's all about how you prescribe winning, though. Like, what perception you have. Now, I've listened to enough Grover. I've been on Grover since 2013. So, I'm sorry, 2014. I was in freshman in college. 2014, I've been on Grover. That's when Relentless came out, 13. All right? My friend, who I believe was one of the angels I met on earth, who's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now. He's with the Orioles now. He's a mental performance coach for the Orioles. His name was Don, my teammate at the time. Begged me to read Relentless. I'm a freshman. I'm like, I don't care anything about a damn book, bro. Like, why you begging me to read this book? We read enough in class anyway. Why you begging me to read? I gotta read again? Like,
Yeah, right.
Let me go, bro. Like, no.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, read the book. So he tells me to buy the book. Right? I'm trying to get this tattoo at the time. It's $10. My first one. I'm 18. I'm like, I'm away from home.
Yeah, right.
Give me my tattoo. I'm good. He's like, I'll buy you a tattoo. You get this book. I'm like, bro, this book mean that much to you? That you willing to pay for my tattoo if I get this book? All right, man, I get the book. So I ordered the book. When I ordered the book, changed my life. Relentless by Tim Grover. Very first book he ever wrote. Then he wrote that one. I read that book in about 3 days when it came out. I woke up every day at 5 a.m. and read it. Every day.
Every day at 5 a.m.
Every day. That book, and I say that to say this, not to talk about Relentless so much, but I'm telling you, Matthew, that I've been on Grover long enough to understand how that man thinks.
Mm-hmm.
He's strictly process driven. He's not, I have to do whatever I have to do to get the end result, right? Illegally or whatever. That's not where he's coming from in that book. It's more of a marathon. It's more of a process. I'm going to send you some Grover videos as well, so you can see how he thinks. He's done a lot of interviews on that book. He's done a lot of interviews on Relentless as well, podcast interviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, winning is everything, because I'm going to tell you what happens when it doesn't become everything. You get distracted, and you make allowances for you getting distracted when it's not everything. If your process, you dominating your process every day is not everything to you, you getting distracted is going to be acceptable.
Yeah.
To you, you're going to accept it. Oh, I got distracted. Well, hey, man, winning ain't everything. I'll be all right. And where the party's at? That's what you want then. And as a result, you will never be that guy. You will never, because that guy did not get distracted. Since 2, we watched the man. At 2. Right? So it's like, yes, of course, winning is everything. Now, I don't know Dr. Trumbull, but I'm sure he hadn't done enough research on Grover to know that, Grover is a very process-driven guy, not outcome-driven guy.
Mm.
So like I said, to reiterate it, Bonds, stupid. All right? Dude that did, you said dope?
Mm-hmm.
Dude that did dope, stupid. Right? Sammy Sosa, quarterback and steroids, stupid. McGuire, stupid. Canseco, stupid. You know what I'm saying? All these guys, stupid.
All they did it, the only reason they did it was to bring fans back to baseball.
Oh yeah, we can have that conversation later. I'm a historian of baseball, so that was they were pawns. I'll say that.
Oh yeah,
they were pawns.
Oh yeah.
It's partially because of the Jordan and stuff like that. Jordan is stealing the fans and bringing them to basketball.
Owners were terrible at the time.
Well, they were owners. They were terrible, but you got to realize, Bud Selig.
Basketball was huge at the time too.
Of course it was.
It's not as big as it is now anymore.
Well, baseball has kind of done a great job of taking that crown back, of course, as well.
For sure.
Shohei.
But I also feel like there were so many greats walking.
Of course.
At that time.
Of course.
And baseball was.
And a lot of sports.
A lot
of sports, yeah.
There were so many greats walking around at that time.
Well, the fans were pissed because of the strike that happened in '95.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then at the time,
owners sucked too.
In basketball, you had Jordan, you had other guys. The '90s was Kobe, Shaq. You had guys that was like really playing for real.
Exactly.
Football was the same way, but then it's like,
oh yeah,
it's like these guys were pawns in that game of like, let's bring baseball back. You really don't think Bud Selig knew exactly what was going on? Of course he did. He just excused it because they were putting butts in the seats by these home runs and money.
Yeah, and it was obvious.
Of course. So these guys were pawns. In this chess game that Bud Selig had, these guys were pawns. You might mess your career up, but we're going to make more money and bring fans back to the sport. So do what you got to do.
Terrible way to do it.
That's what it was.
Terrible way to do it.
All right. So you mentioned that being able to stay inside of that box, being here where you need to be when you need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Easy fix. Easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
2 things. 1, you brought up school, so it's pretty easy for you to have your mind elsewhere, even though you're in school at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We just finished talking about Jordan. Jordan was supposed to retire a long time ago, even before '93. Like, he originally retired in '93, came back, retired in '98, then retired again in '03. He was supposed to retire long before '93. The reason why was because the game got bored to him.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was just terrible. Michael, there was never a time when he was really terrible.
Yeah,
he's Michael Jordan.
He's a basketball player on
earth. But the game got bored to him.
Mm.
You know how he fixed that?
Mm.
He played mental games with himself. He was in control of the intensity of the challenge. And he increased it. There's no mistake that you have to realize, bro. Let's think about it. He didn't win his first ring until '91. He was in the league for 7 years. He got drafted in '84.
Yeah.
From '84 to '91, every individual award you can win, he won. The man was the best player ever by '88.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
4 years in.
It's crazy.
By '88, he was known as the best player to play basketball.
Yeah.
The reason why? Rookie of the year, MVP, multiple MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star Game MVP,
It's crazy.
Olympics. The man won gold. Before he was in the league, he won gold
Mm-hmm.
for the USA. In '84, he won gold. He didn't even play his first NBA game yet.
Crazy.
Like everything you possibly could have achieved individually, he won it by '88.
It's crazy.
So then he's like, well, this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
I'm better than everybody here. I'm bored. I need a challenge.
Other side. There you go.
And then you realize that in '91 he started winning more because he needed to challenge himself. So what happened was I need to build a system where I could challenge myself more and I can use the guys around me as a way to do that. He didn't start winning as a team until '91, right? So that means that he was able to increase his level of the challenge, his intensity of the challenge, saying this guy talked trash about me on the other team. They ain't say a word. You know what I'm saying? They've been quiet the whole game. But to Jordan, in his mind, he's like, they were talking trash about me. You know what I'm saying? Or they believe that we can't beat them. Man, the Pistons still beating me. You know? Like, so he's able to increase the challenge. You can do that same thing when it comes to school. Have you made 100 on every single assignment?
No.
Why?
Not really trying.
I thought it was bored. I thought it was easy.
It is easy.
It's being 100.
It's just, I mean, just not it's trying as much,
So that means you got to put in your mind to try to get a perfect score every time then. If it's that easy, it's possible.
It's hard to do.
How's it hard? Oh, it was easy.
Because it requires effort.
RFT. All right, RFT. Refocusing techniques. We're going to come back to the effort a little later. Refocusing techniques. Okay? Anytime your mind starts to drift, refocusing techniques. We talked about Q words before. All right, that's self-talk. Okay? That's one. The second one, tapping mechanisms. You've seen a lot of players now use tapping mechanisms. I'm happy to see that. Right, where they're tapping that head.
Yeah.
Right? Or they're tapping some part of them, the leg, or they're tapping some part of themselves to remind themselves to lock back in. And they can pair that with a Q word. Right? And a breath probably. All right, focus, lock back in, lock back in, lock back in. And then they get back into it. Right? Whenever I'm on the treadmill and I'm just running and it's the monotony of the treadmill going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired, I'm bored. I need something else, not really challenging. All right, my mind starts to wander. I tap my nose. Why do I tap my nose? Why do you think?
Just feel the moment.
Okay. Where's the nose in comparison to the face?
It's right next to your face.
Where's the nose in comparison to the face? What part of the face is the nose in?
Right in the middle.
So another word for middle is starts with a C.
Center.
And it reminds me to do what then?
Center your mind.
Recenter myself. Tap the nose. I tap my nose. I'm recentered. My brain's gonna ask me, bro, why in the hell are you tapping your nose right now? Then the thought that I just had, where my mind was going everywhere, because my brain is now asked why I'm tapping my nose, boom, that thought is done. So now I'm going back to my nose. Why are you tapping your nose? Oh, that's right, I gotta recenter myself. All right, let's get back to it. Shift your thought. Shift the thought. All right? Same thing with the Q word. The Q word, self-talk is so important because self-talk is the most underrated thing in the world because it becomes a dominant thought.
Mm-hmm.
You have a thought, your mind's racing, your mind's wondering. Say something to yourself. I guarantee you're going to instantly think about that word you said to yourself. How do I know that? Because as I'm talking to you now, you have to process what I'm saying. Which means whatever you thought about before, the words I'm saying to you now are now your dominant thought. You may or may not even be able to remember what you were thinking about before these words. Because you're processing what I'm saying. Same thing applies when it comes to the self-dialogue, self-talk to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, easy fix. Increase the challenge. Somebody in there is making good grades too. You ain't the only one in there in your class making good grades. You need to try to dominate that person. I don't care if she's a little girl that's about this big with glasses. I can care less. If she's making a 95 on the test, you're making 92s, figure out a way to make a 98. Blow her ass out. We can say sorry later and buy her a card and flowers later on, after the semester's over. But for the time being, blow her little ass out. Alright? Cool. And then of course we focus on techniques, tapping mechanisms, keywords, breaths, stuff like that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Now, we talked about the box, we talked about the funnel a lot last time, building the systems. Alright? The main thing is being able to start right here. All right, we're right here. And as we get closer to the competition, closer to the golf match, our focus is shifting, is becoming increasing to the target. I know I'm saying increasing, but I'm going in, but I'm increasing it to the target, not out here. So it's getting, I guess you could say it's getting smaller.
Yeah.
Right? But you're funneling it in. My target, my performance is right here on the bottom. Where I start out in terms of my focus is up here. But as I'm going into it, I want to get right here. I want to funnel it right here into my result. All right, right here into my, and the result just stands for the performance I'm about to have. All right, and what I want to achieve. That's where I want my focus to be in. I want my focus to funnel me into this specific result right here.
Yeah.
Right? So boom, we have our performance. All right, we get our result, whether it's a good one or a bad one. All right, we play well, we didn't play well. We messed up on the first 9 holes or first 3 or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. After that, the most important tool for learning. What do you think we learn at? Anyone on this board? Give me a spot. I want you to look at this board right here and tell me what particular point is the number one point where we learn the most information about our performance.
Probably.
And why?
I'd say from our systems.
Your systems?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
I mean, I'd say our systems because our systems are what we like. Systems are what we think like before or like during a match, or our thought systems, you know. And I say if our thought system throughout the match is going well, if we're thinking the right thoughts throughout the match, I'd say we need to repeat it again. But I'd say if our systems aren't the right thoughts, if our systems are negative during the match, then there's obviously something going on. You know, I feel like a lot of people they practice the physical as far as the swing and all this stuff. They never really understand what it means to practice the mental. You know.
For sure. Okay. So you say systems. Now, when we think systems, right? Systems is basically a an on steroids version of your process. I had to bring steroids back. All right. But yeah, it is essentially what your process looks like. What can you surround yourself with? What actions you take to guarantee that you get to the end result? You're funneling your way into your result. The most important part of this board when it comes to you learning is after your result, and it's at your AAR. Your after action review. Okay? Here's why. Because your after action review is you literally grabbing a sheet of paper and you thinking back on your performance that you had. You ask the question of what system did I have during your AAR? And why was this my system? What is it about this system that gave me this result? Do I need to change the system? Right? What was in my system? Right?
Yeah.
We think about the AAR as 2 different parts of the AAR. What's up? It's multiple, spot 3 or 4, but 2 main parts. One is the sustains. Okay, the sustains. So the sustains consist of those 3 things I have in the sustain right there. The main important thing is this right here. Specificity. Being specific. Why would it be important to understand what I did well? Now let me say before you say that, sustains is what you did well. All right, so how can I keep doing this, all right, to repeat my success? If I keep doing a specific action, I will repeat my success. So when it comes to specific, why would it be important to be specific during your AAR and what you're sustaining?
Just to get down to the point of like, what did I do well during the round? It
Okay.
makes you. I feel like it makes you focus on specific parts of the round that
Yes.
you want to keep.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, that last part specifically, right? Focus on specific parts of the round. All right, what I did well, what I want to keep. What's the problem with? I played good. What's the problem with that?
It's a broad topic.
Broad topic. What does that even mean?
I feel like I say that too much, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I played good.
Yeah.
My dad will always ask me, how'd you play?
Good.
And I'm like, oh, I played good. I played bad. I played mid. You know, I played good. I played bad. I played mid.
Yeah.
He never asked me, what parts do you think you could, like, what do you think you could improve on?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, even though my dad might be a grown man, I think he might need a lesson in here for once. Because he always asks me, he always asks me how I play, like just in general, how'd you play? And when I think to that, I always think, oh, was it good or bad? You know, my mind is like, was it good? Was it bad? Was it okay? You know, we never really go into the specifics of a round, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And instead, I feel like my dad should, like, instead of approaching it that way, I feel like my dad should be like, so, how was hole 1? You know, like, you know, how, like,
hole by hole.
what happened? What happened on hole 1?
Step by step.
You know, because then it makes me be specific.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, makes me think less of that broad topic and more of what happened during the round. You know.
So, like you just said, I play good can mean a lot of different things,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're right, that's too broad.
Yeah.
The deeper problem with that is you have absolutely no idea what to repeat. Nothing. I want to go out there and do good. Okay, what does that even mean? Right? It's a lot of things you can do good, but what are you actually doing good though?
One thing I always love to do
Mm-hmm.
is that I always love to practice after a round
Mhm.
or a tournament.
Mhm.
Like no matter what.
Mhm.
Like I remember one of my buddies was
Mhm.
was at a tournament with me, and I mean, did I play? I played well.
Mhm.
You know, I played well. And as soon as I was done with the round, I went out and I went to practice again.
Mhm.
And he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Tournament's over." And I was like, "Dude, I don't care. I'm gonna go hit some bunker shots because I really struggled on bunker shots. I was like, I'm gonna go hit some short putts because I really struggled with short putts. He's like, you're weird. I'm like,
Cool, good.
I started laughing. I was like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't
You
care.
can't.
I don't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah, you can.
I really don't. I
Yeah.
mean, I know we're friends and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I get that. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't care. In the end, I'm gonna be better than you though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want.
Next
right?
week I beat.
Mm-hmm. That's what's supposed to happen. That's what your process allowed you for that result. All
Mhm.
right. Being specific. All right. Being specific allows me to understand what exactly I should repeat.
Mhm.
What exactly did I do well? Right. When we think about AARs, it's details as well. I didn't write it up there, but it's details as well. Okay. All the way down to what did I have before I started my match? What did I eat? Was I listening to certain type of music? Like, did I talk to anybody? Right? What happened? When I was playing ball in high school, man, I was playing baseball. We played against the Grayson. We played against the Parkview or Brookwood or somewhere like that. It's gonna sound crazy, but especially coming from me, I think. But before my games, if I was stressed out or if I was, a little nervous or whatever, my pregame routine, bro, was I'd be on the bus on the way to the game. Game probably about 20, 30 minutes away, right? I would like text girls. I'd text like 8 different girls. Like I just text 8 different girls and just like have a conversation. Because I'm too worried about trying to be smooth. I'm not even thinking about the nervousness of the game no more. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out what the best, okay, she said this, what I'm going to say back to be smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So that was my way of doing it. But as a result, I found out like the first time I did it, I went like 2 for 3 with like 2 doubles. Mind you, Matt Olson's pitch. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Exactly. I don't went 2 for 3 off Matt Olson. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Lucas Sims' pitch, and I hit him off the wall, left center. I'm hitting third that game off a curveball. Like stuff like that. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm talking to girls every single time from here on out. Like that's crazy. That's a part of my routine now. Like
I talk to my girlfriend before every game.
But it calms you down though. Exactly. So you need to ensure that you know exactly what you did, so you can repeat it. You can repeat that success. Also, when we think about perspective of success, for a sustain, how do I want to view my success? Right? We have this chart down here called selective perception, right? So as my success, I want to view it as authentic. That is me, right? When I'm step out here on this golf course, that is me. When I'm successful, that's authentically me. Pervasive, I can take that and keep going over and over and over and over with it. I can repeat that, okay? Global, man, my success is going to go from me driving to me putting to me chipping to whatever I got to do on the court, all right? Sustainability, I can sustain my success as well. We just finished talking about that, all right? Sustainability for my success, I can sustain it. And then, of course, you want to think about your adjustments, all right? Same thing with sustains. You want to be specific with what I should adjust. I didn't play well. Okay, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I not do well? You brought it up earlier. It's like, what do I need to change up? Right? What can I improve? Right? What can I improve? What part of my game can I improve? I did this on hole 1. I did this on hole 2. Hole 5, I did this. Can I improve some of the things that I did on those holes? Right? That's my adjustments. And then being able to turn these into my sustains. So after I come up with a plan or a system to correct these, how can I then turn these adjustments or things that I did not do well into my sustains for next time? Right? So that's the whole point of my adjustments. For my adjustments, let's go ahead and work on those, make them better, and then turn them into my sustains. Now, also when it comes to adjustments, I want to view failure as inauthentically me. Okay? So this was not me. This was, it just wasn't representation of me. Yeah. I'm not a failure. All right? Of course, temporary. This was just this one time. All right? It's not going to repeat itself. Isolated. So isolated just means I may not have done well on my putting, but I'm not going to allow that to affect my driving and my chipping. All right? And then improbable. I can improve upon my failure. The thing that I did not do well today, I can improve that. Based off of that's why on that thing right here, I have glasses up here. All right? I'm not going to turn the computer around, but I have glasses up here. Because it's based off how you view your successes and how you view your failure. Okay? That's why it's called selective perception. How am I viewing these things? Okay? Now, when do you think would be the best time to complete your AAR or your active action review?
Right after.
Right after. Why?
Because I remember everything.
You remember everything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Those emotional feelings are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still feel it.
For sure.
Still feel it. That pain is still there.
Yeah, man.
The happiness is still there. So right after you're done, if you carried a journal with you, right? Be able to write all of this stuff down. I'm saying when you're in the car, write all this stuff down. You can do it when you're at the golf course, write all this stuff down. So that way you capture a lot of these things within the AAR. And now your adjustments become a lot easier to become sustains. Because I know exactly what I did not do well. All right. I don't know how possible it is in golf, but even after your holes, your individual holes, like write down what I did not do well. Write down what I did well. All right. Maybe not after each individual hole, because I want you thinking about that specific shot. All right. Going back to your box and being where you need to be when you need to be there. So maybe after the entire thing, go back and reminisce over, when I was at hole 1, I did X, Y, and Z. When I was at hole 27, I did X, Y. You know what I mean? Yeah. Being able to do that. All right. Let me add part of this as well when it comes to that. After you're done writing down your AAR, visualization is very important. Visualization is very important. The reason why is because you want to visualize yourself being successful at the things that you want to create, or that you want to adjust, that you want to improve upon. All right, the things you want to get better at, you want to visualize yourself being better at those things, actually executing on what it is you wanted to do. Why is that important, you think?
About visualizing?
Visualizing yourself making those adjustments and playing the way that you should have played.
I feel like it gets me ready for the next opportunity, and I feel like it makes me visualize. I feel like it gets me more used to the moment, you know? And I feel like as much as I love visualization, as much as I love doing that, I cannot tell you how many times, like the night before of a tournament or anything like that, that I remember during the summer I had a tournament, and I was so nervous. I don't know why I was so nervous. I was just so nervous. I was up in a hotel. One of the worst tournaments of the summer that the worst tournament of the summer that I played, actually. It was terrible. My dad was there, and I'm not gonna say whenever my dad's there I play bad, but I don't know what it is, but like players, like especially at my level, when someone is there, not all the time. I mean, I could have my coach there and I'd be fine, you know? But like, when someone is there of value, I mean, my coach is of value, of course, but
That's
like,
not your parent, though.
Exactly. But when someone is there of value, I noticed that, I mean, my buddy Emil is a perfect example. When somebody is there of value, when his mom is always there, when his mom is there, he always plays bad. He was like, my mom was there today. And I was like, how'd you play? He said, I played terrible, man. My mom was there. And I'm like when my dad is there, not all the time, but sometimes I just play terrible. And I don't know why. And it's like, and I feel more nervous, and it's like, and I try to tune them out as much as I could. I tried to just, it wasn't working, you know. It just it wasn't working. And the tournament over where I played, I haven't had the best history with that course. The day before though, I was playing great. The practice round was great. I was hitting it where I needed to. I was like, I'm gonna hit a draw around this tree. I'm gonna hit a draw on this hole. It's gonna be fun. Hit a draw around the hole, and it was fine. Perfect. Put it where I wanted.
Was your dad there?
My dad was there. Yeah, day of the tournament. I was playing with this other kid. There were only 8 kids in the field, and I was like, dude, this is the perfect time for me to get a top 3 and, you know, just play well. And then that night I got nervous. That night, and I couldn't really sleep. 1, my dad was snoring so much and I couldn't. But 2, I was so into my thoughts. I get so into my thoughts sometimes that I get so nervous that I can't sleep. It's just, and I feel like it's that feeling of winning, but it's like, it's eating at me, you know? It just eats at me, and not in the right ways, you know?
Is it because you're thinking about winning in the sense of the end result? Like, I have to
The
win?
outcome.
Yeah, the outcome?
Yeah. I feel like that's what it is. I feel like
Success can be a distraction.
it is. For me, it's a huge distraction. I'd say success. I love success, and I feel like I love success so much that it distracts me. It distracts me from the main goal, and I forget the main goal because I'm so focused on playing well and playing to my ability and trying to impress my dad, and like I'm so distracted on that I forget that I'm just trying to enjoy the moment of where I am and walking a golf course, you know, with a beautiful sunrise in the morning. I'm not thinking about that. I wasn't even thinking about enjoying the little things at that time. Like, I was thinking about, like...
Spotlight.
Exactly. And I remember, God, there was this one kid. Oh man, I forgot his name. And he was younger than I was, but he was younger than I was, and I was just like, my coach told me to like mentor and watch over the little kids, take them out to play, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. And there was this one kid. His name was Aaron. And he would always get distracted by something, like in the fairway or something like going on. And he would like, oh, look at that butterfly over there. Look at that ant pile over there. And I was like, we're playing golf. Aaron, we're playing golf. Come on. And he was just looking at all these little things. Like, while he was playing. And he didn't look an ounce bit nervous. Like, he was just like, just hit the ball and then started walking. Just looked around and like, huh?
It wasn't a serious one. The end result wasn't a serious one.
And I feel like that's crazy. I felt like
it's the law of
that was crazy.
The law of I forgot what the law was called, but it's like a law that the military uses too.
Yeah.
What is it called? Basically, when you don't want something that comes to you. So here's the thing, right? Yep. Here's the thing, right? When Navy SEALs go through buds, what branch of the military was your dad in? What branch of the military was your dad in?
My dad wasn't in the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go through buds as a Navy SEAL, they have to get you ready for the water because you're a SEAL.
My golf coach was though.
Okay. Yeah. But you're a SEAL. And so what they do is they tie your feet and they tie your hands behind your back. And they throw you into the water. Not to where you can stand up. They throw you into the water where you gotta figure it out.
What if you don't?
You fucking die.
Huh?
You die.
It's a crime.
You signed the paper. So here's the thing. They throw you out into the water, right? And you have to buoy your way up to the top with your hands and feet still tied. Now, what happens is this a lot of times. This is why people die when they get down there, because they're so consumed with trying to get up to the top. Senses kick in. Like, I gotta get up to the top. And they're almost panicking. You know the ones that live, you know what their mentality is? They're like, all right, well, we in the water. Let's make friends with the water.
They're crazy.
Not crazy. They're smart. They make friends with the water. And as a result, they're like, okay, all right, well, let's go ahead and get up to the top.
How's that?
Take your time and get up to the top. And they're good now. But you almost have to, it's reverse something. I can't think of
reverse psychology.
No, it's not reverse psychology. It's reverse, it has a specific name to it. But when you don't want something, that's when it comes to you. It's almost like when you like, all right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, you really don't, when you don't want it anymore, that's when everything comes to you. I'll say this, and I hate that I'm even bringing this up right now. But this is probably one of those paramount times in high school when I figured it out. My freshman year, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna leave. My freshman year through my sophomore year, I was concerned with just like looking good. You know what I'm saying? Totally different mindset. Looking good, wanted friends, wanted to be popular. Baseball was going great.
Yeah.
Grades were absolutely atrocious because all I cared about was baseball and the girls and looking good and stuff. And my junior year, I was kind of a mix. The first semester was just like how my other 2 years were. I didn't have any friends because not when I first got in, because I was going to Gwinnett and I was from DeKalb. I didn't know there was a shallow middle school right across the street. I had no idea. I get in and I'm like, why is everybody friends? It's the first day of class. How y'all know each other? What am I missing?
Exactly.
Oh, y'all been friends since middle school. All right, that makes sense. I didn't know, all right?
Yeah.
So I started changing myself to get more friends as a 14-year-old, like I'm a child, right?
I keep forgetting that you're so young and
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm like, okay, start changing, how I dress, start changing how I talk, start changing how I went about things, right? I went from very ultra focused my freshman year, beginning of my freshman, like first couple of months, to like the second half of my freshman year. I'm a totally different person now, right? I want the girls, I want the popularity, I want the friends, I want all that. Baseball is going well. So fast forward, junior year comes first half, and I just like have an epiphany. It's like, how like parents will like get their child and like, hey, come here real quick. Like they'll come here, they grab them. I feel like that's what God did to me. You know what I'm saying? Praying a lot, meditating, everything changed. I no longer wanted the same things that I once wanted.
But why?
Because they weren't important to me. They didn't hold any weight. Me acquiring girls in high school holds absolutely no weight. Because I don't get better from that. My end result that I want has nothing to do with the girls I have.
End result will be a breakup, most likely.
It will be, but it will also be psychological damage and time wasted.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with playing D1 baseball. Zero.
Yeah.
You hold no weight at all. Popularity of friends. Unless your dad is a Georgia coach in baseball, bruh, we ain't got no discussion. I don't even be talking to you. Is your dad a Division I baseball coach? Can you help me play Division I baseball? If your answer is no, we ain't really got no conversation at this point. I don't even talk to you. I love you. I see you around. I say what's up to you, but I'm going this way. I'm finna go email coaches. I'm finna go talk to coaches. I'm gonna work out.
How do you not care about that?
Because it holds no weight to what I actually want. It's temporary. That's very temporary. I'm not even gonna know you after high school. I don't want to know you after high school. If I know you after high school and I'm still here, I did something wrong. I failed. And I know people are gonna say like that's a harsh mentality. I don't want to end up where you are. That's cool. If you don't think what I'm doing is right, fine. That's what it's supposed to be. We ain't supposed to even think the same way.
You are crazy.
I have to be. I want a different result.
It's so hard to see because.
But look. Let me say this though. Let me say this. I made sure to not care about the things that I once cared about, right? So as I'm coming to school second semester of my junior year, I'm dressing just like this, except for I got on dirty shoes. And probably a worse t-shirt than this. Because I'm at the cage working out during lunch, I need to wear workout clothes now. But I got sweats on and stuff like that. Do you know that when I literally stopped caring about everything else in the world except for going D1 and I'm dressing bummy, and I'm coming to school not caring about anything else, I pulled the baddest girls. People want to know me. I got more people trying to be friends now. I'm making the best grades. Right? Everything changed up. Specifically, I brought the girls up because before, when I wanted them, I got some. When I didn't care anymore, man, my phone couldn't turn off fast enough, bro. I couldn't block nobody fast enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I don't want it, that's when I have it. You know? So you want to think about it in that regard, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, is that I feel like that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I'm starting